Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is my pattern, okay, which is going to be part of my basic color. And assuming that I already have a pattern that is a seamless texture, let's analyze how my pattern is, okay? So in this case, the figures are the black parts, but in almost every other case, the figures are the clay part. And I think I'm going to keep it in that way, okay? This is, of course, me basing my ideas on these models. You're free to do whatever you want, okay? So I'm going to keep my figures as the clay part and everything else in black, okay? So for that, one thing that is obvious here is that the black is kind of multiply over the clay. I even see this kind of reddish tone, okay? I haven't really worked on Greek vases, so I don't know how this used to work. Sometimes it's interesting to know how things were built or constructed because it gives you an idea of how to create these shaders. So I open my Hypershade, and I'm going to multiply this pattern over this, okay? So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to disconnect the base color, okay, just to test other things, and I'm going to add a file node. So I search for file, and you actually see here that it suggests to add it as a projection. So I'm actually going to click there because this is already going to come with a projection node, which I can already use to map this texture correctly, okay? So I'm going to call this file Greek pattern, okay? This is going to be my place 3D for the Greek pattern, okay? And this is going to be the projection of my Greek pattern. I'm just doing this to keep in mind or to keep this organized because it gets too easy to complicated, okay? So that's my Greek pattern. I'm going to load it, okay? And I'm going to use the one that Jürgen provided. You can use whatever pattern you have around. Okay, this is just for the sake of this example. And this is a tile level 1 already. That means it's seamless, okay? And so let's see if I just apply this on color. How's it working? I'm just going to click here. I'm going to fit it to box already. And I'm going to make it cylindrical, okay? So let's see how this is looking on my vase, and it's actually not so bad. I mean, it's pretty properly mapped. So, and one thing I wanted to have is that the pattern is actually not going over the handle. I actually want to have this smaller. So I'm going to cut the pattern over here, okay, and also down here, and maybe leave some of this in the top. I think this is going to work for me, okay? So I'm going to keep some stripes there. Next step is to combine this pattern with my basic color. To combine it, I'm going to use a composite, so AI composite. I'm going to actually multiply this, the color of the original composite in B, and then the color of my Greek pattern in A. And let's see what color I get. Now let's render. Okay, and I get pretty much what I wanted. Okay, and I have a little bit of a red tint to it. This is because my black and white image was probably not completely black and white, okay? If I want to increase that, I can go to my Greek pattern and increase the offset, okay? So you see now, if I render again, it's even multiplying it more. Okay, so I'm not gonna increase it so much. I'm going to take this down a bit. Okay, this is because by increasing the offset of my original image, I'm actually making the black lighter, which means that I'm going to see more of the back color, which is my patches color. Now, To this composite, I'm going to call it color pattern. Okay, and this one I'm also going to reduce it to comp so that the name is not so long. I'm going to press 1 so that the whole thing is reduced. Probably organize and rearrange my graph. Okay, and this is going to be, in theory, my base. What's not working here? The fact that my pattern is in the whole base, and I probably want to fix that. So if we put it on the same layer, all of this would be my base color, my clay, and this would be my pattern color, which is also using the base color. And these two, it's what I need to combine with a mask in order to have the pattern only in some parts of my base, okay? So that's the next step we're going to do, but first, we are going to save our file.